The phone in your hand is shaking, not because your fingers are weak, but because the voicemail you just listened to has ended your career in 11 seconds. Weston, this is coreless vein, effective immediately. Your position has been eliminated. That's it. No warning. No, thank you. 11 years of your life reduced to 11 seconds of a recorded voice that didn't even have the courage to call you live. You are Weston Blackwood, 44 years old, and for the last 6 years, you have raised your daughter Junie alone, ever since her mother walked out on a rainy Tuesday, and never looked back. You built your life around two things: your daughter's laughter and the systems you engineered for Halstead Dynamics, the logistics company that now, apparently, no longer needs you. You remember the day you started. Nobody understood the warehouse routing software. It was chaos, shipments lost, drivers confused, deadlines missed by days. You sat in that server room for 11 months, some nights sleeping on a cot because Junie's babysitter didn't mind the extra hours and you needed the overtime. You built something from nothing, a system so precise, so seamless, that Halstead grew from a regional shipper into a company handling contracts across 14 states. And you did it while packing Junie's lunches every single morning, while attending every school play, every soccer game, because you promised yourself she would never feel like she only had half a parent. But today, none of that mattered to Corliss Vane, the new CEO who took over 8 months ago and decided the company needed fresh energy. Fresh energy. That's the phrase he used in the all-staff meeting last month, standing in his tailored navy suit, his voice smooth as a salesman's, talking about modernizing the workforce and bringing in new experts who understood next-generation systems. You stand in your kitchen now, the voicemail still echoing in your ears, and you look at Junie's drawing taped to the refrigerator, a crayon picture of you and her standing next to a house with a bright yellow sun, 8 years old, and she draws the sun bigger than the house. You wonder how you're going to tell her that daddy doesn't have a job anymore. Not this week. Not with her science fair coming up. Not with the rent due in 12 days. 3 days later, you clean out your desk. A young man named Prescott Ainsley, 26 years old, fresh out of a prestigious tech program, walks past you with a coffee in his hand and a smirk on his face. He's your replacement. Corliss Vane hired him personally, called him a visionary, gave him a signing bonus larger than your entire annual salary. Prescott glances at the boxes in your arms and says, loud enough for the room to hear, "Guess the old system's finally caught up to you, huh?" You don't respond. You just carry your box to your car, and in the parking lot, you sit behind the wheel for 11 minutes before you can bring yourself to drive home, because you don't want Junie to see your eyes red when you pick her up from school. The weeks that follow are the hardest of your life. You apply to 23 jobs in the first 10 days. Interviews come slow, bills come fast. You sell your late father's fishing boat, the one thing you had left of him, just to cover 2 months of rent. You start driving for a rideshare app at night after Junie falls asleep, leaving her with your elderly neighbor, Odessa Ferris, a retired schoolteacher who watches her for free because she says that's what neighbors are supposed to do. What neighbors are supposed to charge for. Meanwhile, at Halstead Dynamics, something is happening that you don't yet know about. Prescott Ainsley sits down at your old workstation on his first Monday, opens the system architecture you built, and stares at 11 years of code, custom protocols, manual failsafes, and integrated logic that isn't documented anywhere except in your head and in scattered notes you left behind, because nobody ever asked you to write a manual. Why would they? You were supposed to be there forever. Prescott doesn't understand the routing logic. He doesn't understand why certain warehouses trigger different priority sequences. He doesn't understand the backup protocol that manually reroutes shipments during regional weather disruptions, a protocol you personally activated every single time a storm hit the Midwest corridor, because the automated system alone couldn't handle it. Nobody told him this because nobody at Halstead, including Corliss Vane, actually understood what you did. They just knew it worked. For the first 2 weeks, everything runs on inertia. The system's continuing on the momentum you built. But small cracks begin to show. A shipment misroutes to Ohio instead of Tennessee. Nobody thinks much of it. Then 3 more misroutes happen the same week. Then a client in Georgia calls, furious, because a promised delivery of medical supplies to a hospital network arrived 4 days late. Corliss Vane isn't worried yet. He tells his board, "We're optimizing. There's always a transition period." But you, sitting in your small apartment, still haven't heard a single word from him. Not an apology, not a thank you, nothing. 2.5 weeks after your termination, a storm system moves through the central corridor. The exact kind of weather event that used to require the manual rerouting protocol you personally built and executed every single time. Prescott doesn't know it exists. He doesn't know that without it, the automated system defaults to its original routing, sending trucks directly into flooded and closed highways. At a.m., alarms start firing across the company's monitoring dashboard. Drivers are stranded, shipments are stuck. A truck carrying temperature-sensitive pharmaceutical products is rerouted onto a closed bridge and has to reverse for 6 miles in the dark, in the rain, nearly sliding off the shoulder. The driver, woman named Rosalind Kestrel, calls dispatch in a panic, her voice shaking. "I need someone who understands this system right now, or I don't know if I'm getting out of here safely." Nobody at Halstead knows what to do. Prescott is called in at a.m. He stares at the dashboard, sweating, clicking through menus he doesn't recognize, trying commands that don't work, because he never learned the manual override sequence, the one you used to type from memory in under 90 seconds. By morning, the damage is catastrophic. 14 trucks stranded, 2 accidents, thankfully minor, but enough to trigger insurance investigations. 26 client shipments delayed or lost. A hospital network in Georgia threatens to cancel their contract entirely because of the missed medical delivery, a contract worth $4.2 million annually. Corliss Vane arrives at the office at a.m., still in yesterday's clothes, his phone ringing non-stop, with furious clients and a board demanding answers. He storms into the server room where Prescott sits, pale and exhausted, and demands, "Fix it. Now." Prescott, near tears from the pressure, finally admits the truth. "I don't understand the manual override protocols. There's no documentation. Whoever built this system knew things that aren't written down anywhere." Corliss's face goes cold. Who built this system? The IT director, a woman named Delphine Ashworth, who had quietly disagreed with your termination from the beginning, finally speaks up, her voice steady with restraint. Anger. "Weston Blackwood built this system. The man you fired a month ago." For a long moment, nobody says anything. Corliss Vane stands there, the weight of what he's done finally beginning to press down on him. That afternoon, while you are in your kitchen making grilled cheese for Junie's after-school snack, your phone rings, an unknown number. You almost don't answer it, but something makes you pick up. "Weston, this is Corliss Vane." Your stomach tightens, but you keep your voice calm. "What can I do for you, Mr. Vane?" "We have a situation," he says, and you can hear the strain in his voice. A man, unaccustomed to needing anyone. "The system is failing. We need someone who understands the architecture. We need you to come in and help us stabilize it." You look over at Junie, sitting at the table, swinging her legs, humming a song from school, completely unaware that this phone call is the moment everything might change. You think about the 11 seconds of that voicemail. You think about Prescott's smirk in the parking lot. You think about selling your father's boat. "I appreciate the call," you say slowly, "but I have a family to take care of, and right now, I don't have a job." Corliss pauses. "We'd bring you back. Full compensation, plus a retention bonus." "I'll think about it," you say, and you hang up before he can respond, your hands trembling, not from fear this time, but from something closer to disbelief. That night, you can't sleep. Part of you wants to say yes immediately, because the bills are piling up, and Junie needs stability. But another part of you the part that stood in that parking lot, carrying a cardboard box, while a 26-year-old mocked 11 years of your work, wants them to feel exactly what they made you feel. The next morning, the situation at Halstead has gotten worse. A second wave of misroutes hits the West Coast distribution centers. 3 more contracts are on the verge of cancellation. The board holds an emergency meeting, and for the first time since he took over, Corliss Vane's position as CEO is being openly questioned. He calls you again. This time, his voice isn't smooth or corporate. It's desperate. Weston, please. I'll admit it. I made a mistake. A serious mistake. The system is failing because you built something that only you fully understand. I need you to come in, even temporarily, to stabilize things. Name your terms. You take a breath. I'll come in, you say, but not as an employee, as a consultant, and my rate is triple what you were paying me before. Plus, I want it in writing, a formal apology to be shared with the full staff, acknowledging that my termination was a mistake. There's a long silence on the other end. You can practically hear him swallowing his pride. Done, he finally says. You arrive at Halstead Dynamics that afternoon, walking through the same doors you carried boxes out of weeks earlier. The atmosphere is different now, tense, anxious, employees whispering as you pass. Delphine Ashworth meets you at the elevator, her eyes red from exhaustion, and she grips your hand. Thank God you're here. We didn't know how bad it would get without you. Prescott Ainsley is sitting at your old workstation, looking like a man who hasn't slept in 3 days. When he sees you, his smirk from the parking lot is nowhere to be found. Instead, there's something like shame in his eyes. I didn't know, he says quietly. I didn't know how much you actually did. I thought I could just take over. You don't say anything cruel. You've never been that kind of man. And you're not about to start now. Not in front of your daughter's memory of who her father is. It's not about knowing everything, you say. It's about understanding that some things take years to build, and you can't shortcut respect for that. You sit down at the terminal, and for the next 6 hours, you work like you've never left, restoring the manual override protocols, walking Delphine and to junior engineers through the emergency rerouting logic, documenting everything this time, not because you owe Halstead anything, but because you don't want another family to suffer if this ever happens again to someone else. By midnight, the system stabilizes. The stranded trucks are rerouted safely. The hospital network's shipment, delayed but finally delivered, arrives with a personal note of apology that Corliss Vane, at your insistence, has to write and sign himself. 3 days later, in front of the entire staff at Halstead Dynamics, Corliss Vane stands at the front of the room, his voice noticeably humbled. Weston Blackwood built the backbone of this company, and I made the mistake of thinking he was replaceable, that experience could be substituted with ambition alone. I was wrong, and this company owes him not just an apology, but a recognition of what real dedication looks like. The room erupts into applause, and you stand there, feeling something unlock in your chest that you didn't realize had been clenched shut since that 11-second voicemail. Corliss offers you your position back, permanently, with a substantial raise, full authority over system architecture decisions, and a formal seat in leadership meetings. You think about it for exactly 1 night. The next morning, you tell him, yes, but on your terms this time. You negotiate flexible hours so you never miss another one of Junie's school events. You negotiate remote work 2 days a week. You make it clear that your daughter comes first, always, and if Halstead Dynamics ever forgets the value of the people who build it from the ground up, you won't hesitate to walk away again. And this time, you'll take everything you've documented with you. Months pass. The system runs smoother than it ever has, because now, for the first time, it's not just in your head. It's written down, taught, shared, so that no single person's absence could ever collapse it again. You mentor Prescott, not because he deserves an easy path after what he said to you, but because you understand something he doesn't yet. that real strength isn't in tearing someone down to feel important, it's in building people up so the whole system survives. Odessa Ferris still watches Junie some afternoons. Not because you need the help anymore, but because she's become family. Junie still draws pictures of the two of you. And now, there are new ones too. One of the whole team at Halstead, colorful stick figures with your name written in her careful 8-year-old handwriting. My dad's work family. One evening, sitting on the porch with Junie as the sun sets over the quiet street, she looks up at you and asks, Dad, were you scared when they fired you? You think about it honestly before answering. Yeah, babe, I was terrified. But sometimes the things that scare us the most end up showing us exactly how strong we really are. She smiles, satisfied with that answer, and goes back to drawing, the crayon moving. Across the page, another sun, bigger than the house, bigger than anything that ever tried to make you feel small. Because in the end, they didn't just fire an employee that day. They fired the man who understood that real value isn't loud, isn't flashy, isn't wrapped in a title or a fresh degree. It's quiet, it's patient, it's built one sleepless night at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one promise to a little girl at a time. And when that kind of value walks out the door, no system, no company, no title can survive without it for long. You learn that day that being underestimated isn't the end of your story. Sometimes, it's simply the beginning of the chapter, where everyone else finally understands what they should have seen all along.
This story reminds us that true worth is never measured by a title or an age. It's measured by the sacrifices we make for the people we love. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little hope today.